got out of bed because the house is shaking, man. But I think it stopped. It's no longer shaking. I was trying to click on live during the earthquake. You know, I haven't been in an earthquake in quite a long time, actually. I lived in Southern California for a number of years, folks, and only felt like a few tremors at times. But I felt this one a bit more. Yeah. I always thought Philippines had like a lot of typhoons. Um, typhoons. I never really thought earthquakes, but yeah, I guess there's earthquakes here too. I gotta look it up. If anybody knows much about earthquakes, feel free to chime in. Um, but yeah, that was I kind of felt that more. There were people scared, but I don't know. Are earthquakes really a big deal? They probably are, but I mean, I guess it has to be like a really big one to like split. What do you call it? Like split foundations, and this had to have been like big earthquakes in history, like where like just like splits the roads apart, and it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like the foundation, the ground, like everything's shaking the house, man. The earth is shaken. Anyway, if you like that message, hit the like button. If you like earthquakes, hit that like button. No, I don't like earthquakes, but I wonder what the statistics are on earthquakes. Yeah, it's weird because I was just laying in bed right now, okay, and I felt the shake. I was like, oh, it's like, at first I thought like a big truck was going by, or maybe crashed into the house or something. Then I realized, I was like, oh, this is like an earthquake. Yeah. And, oh, wait, here we go. Here's some information. And then I got this pop-up on my phone. It says M5.3. Okay. Magnitude 5.3 earthquake, folks. So welcome to the Philippines. We're here in Negros Occidental around Bacolod. I finally started saying it right after 15 years. I'm just joking, I haven't been here that long, but anyway. If you like that message and you like bananas, let me know. I appreciate it. Yeah, Mr. L says we like it shaken, not stirred. I agree, man. Can you imagine that though? Like being in an earthquake, like where the ground like opens up. Wouldn't that be gnarly? That'd be crazy. Yeah, the weather's fine, Kayla. Other than the earthquake, it's tropical, so it'll be like really sunny and hot, and then all of a sudden like it'll be rainy type of thing. But I kind of like it. I kind of dig it. I dig the tropics, man. I mean, I got used to it. I acclimate to it, so I'll go out. I mean, I train midday, when it's hot and there's no like air conditioning in the gym I go to. And so I'll drink about a gallon of water a day, but I've acclimated, man. I've acclimated to the, Philippines tropics. I'll go out for jogs too, 2 to 3 miles, 2 in the afternoon. Okay. Like blazing sun. And I can do it. It's challenging, but I can do it. Shout out to Louis the Guy. Yes, sir. Chef Radish, welcome. Appreciate that. That's Sir Marcus. Yes, earthquake. That's correct. Welcome to the live stream, folks. We're here reporting live from a magnitude 5.3 earthquake that just woke me up out of bed. My son didn't wake up, which is kind of funny. Yeah. Apparently, I think my son's pretty immune. It was like a bad typhoon once, and he slept through the whole thing. I think the roof of the house of the neighboring house was nearly torn off, and he just slept like a baby through the whole thing. That's Filipino resilience and all that. They're used to it. They're tough. But yeah, all those years in California, man, I can't this actually, I felt it more. I felt this earthquake more than the 20 plus years I lived in California. Excuse me. And it shook kind of unsteadily. You know, it's like, well, Kayla, we go to sleep early here in the province, okay? We're like, we wake up with the roosters type of thing. So, we're going to bed at like, 8:30 at night. Or 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, it's early for me too. I used to stay up all night all the time. I mean, I do whatever, man. You do what you got to do in terms of scheduling, but yeah, let me get my computer out actually, folks. I kind of just got out of bed during, like, I was trying to hit the live button as the house was shaking, but I think it was just slightly shaken when I turned on the live stream. Kuya Storm says our pool was sloshing big time. Mr. Payne says the most virtual assistants are offline. Okay. Do we need a virtual assistant? I want to look up some earthquake stats really quick. It's a lot of fun. If you guys like earthquakes, or if you don't like earthquakes, let me know how you just feel about it. Okay, let's look up the history of earthquakes in, let's say, Negros Occidental and the Philippines. How about that? Oh, they work from home. James says aftershocks follow. Okay, here come the aftershocks, folks. All right. Detailed history of earthquakes in Negros Occidental and Negros Island, the Philippines in general. Notable quakes and seismic risk. Here we go. Geological and tectonic context. Why the Philippines has quakes. Yeah, this is so funny because I never associated the Philippines with earthquakes, right? I always just was like, okay, heavy rainstorms, typhoons, Pacific Ring of Fire, but apparently I think the earthquake deal is pretty big here too. All right, so the Philippines, as we know, lies upon the so-called Pacific Ring of Fire, an area of high tectonic activity due to plate boundaries, subduction zones, and fault systems. The archaeological sits on the intersection of several major and micro plates, the Philippine Sea Plate, Eurasian Plate, and the Sunda Plate. Earthquakes from subduction, that's one plate driving under another. The other is faulting within the crust. That's a strike-slip thrust faults. Volcanic and magmatic activity, adjustments of the crust around volcanoes. Wouldn't that be messed up if the earth opened and all of a sudden just lava started shooting up out of the earth? Because of this, earthquakes risk is high across many parts of the Philippines, including the Visayas region, which includes Negros. Okay? Earthquake history in Negros. February 6, 2012, magnitude 6.7. The eastern side of Negros, but close to the fault system, affecting the island, caused 50 deaths, damaged, and landslides. Oh my God. Yeah, man, the landslides are pretty serious, man. That's not a joke. The quake was generated by a previously unmapped thrust fault, Negros Occidental Thrust, on or near Negros Island. Okay, here's another one, May 25th. Wait, that's this one. No, that's not this one. May 25th, offshore, about the same size of the ones we just got here when I hit the record live button. Yeah, wait, hit the like button if you guys are enjoying this. All right, I got out of bed for you during an earthquake, and I had my phone in my hand. That's my dedication to this channel and to you all. So, I try to give you guys the real, right? I'm on call 24/7. That's the Captain Trucker channel. No, I was reading my son bedtime stories. Here it is, actually. My mom got him this, his grandmother. It's called Roar Like a Lion. It's kind of like biblical, stories for kids. It's very, teaches about moral principles and morals and, good stuff we should follow in life, and being brave and not being scared, roaring like a lion, staying away from gambling and addictions and stupid things. It doesn't really talk about that. I mean, it's meant more for like kids, you know what I mean? But the principles carry over all throughout life. So anyway, roar like a lion. This is what I was reading to my son as he was going to bed. And then I'm on my phone, probably looking at my analytics. And actually, I was watching some old highlights from Donald Trump's debate from 2016. That was kind of funny, actually. Yeah, and then the earthquake hit, and then I hit the live button. So there you go. All right. So here's some other historical quakes, guys. This one was magnitude 7. The province had at least 9 quakes above magnitude 7 since 1900. Yeah. And this one was in and around Sapale, which is one of my favorite spots. There have been around 80 recorded quakes above magnitude 5 within 100 kilometers, some up to 6.8 magnitude. Okay. I don't feel any aftershocks yet. I'll let you know if I do. Kayla says the Philippines has everything, lol, in terms of natural disasters. Yeah, I believe it. Thank you for stopping. Says, damn, dude, I didn't realize it was an earthquake until I saw the stream. Yeah, this is an earthquake live stream, all right? Drake Med says, I thought I'm dizzy. Golly, I didn't realize earthquakes is happening. Yeah, it really is. I think it stopped, though. Let's get those likes up there, fellas. We got people in the room right now. Send your love. Send your comments. And let me do this before I got to go back to sleep. Although I wasn't sleeping at the time. I also got some really good cologne. You guys want to see this cologne? This bottle is about $100. It's a French cologne. Saint Laurent. I forget how it's pronounced. Okay, all right. I got my phone plugged back in. I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Sorry for the delay on that. We got a bunch of people here. They may have bailed, but hopefully they'll come back. Anyway, welcome back to the live stream, folks. We just had a magnitude, I think it was 5.9 earthquake. It just showed up. I was laying in bed, and yeah. Yeah, here we go. Hold on. Let me put this phone back up. Just kind of going through the history of earthquakes here. See how many bad earthquakes there were, because, yeah, all those years in California, man, I never really had any. This one I felt more, I got to admit. And I was thinking, you know, people got scared and some of the neighbors shrieked, and I just thought, well, you know, come as you may. If this is the end, well, I'm going to go live. So I thought, my son's sleeping. I might as well go live, right? I was like, shit, what do I have to lose? Let's go live during the quake. This will be the final live stream. I'm just joking. No, we're going to be okay, folks. Oh, I was showing my cologne before we went off. Yeah, hold on. So I got this French cologne. I think it's Saint Laurent. Yeah, that's what it is. This is about $105, this little bottle here. It's a French cologne, and I'm not like a huge fan of France per se, but I don't know. I smelled this once, and I guess, well, somebody was wearing it. You know, I don't know. And I thought, oh, geez, that smells good. I should go buy some. Anyway, it's kind of like, it's the type of cologne where a woman or a man can wear it, I think. It's one of those deals. But I think it's marketed towards men. I just like smelling it. It puts me in a good mood. All right. So anyway, check this out. Okay, so large quakes like size 6 and 7 are less frequent but possible. This one almost hit a 6, folks. So to understand how big quakes have shaped the national seismic record, check this out. 1918, magnitude 8.3 was one of the largest in Philippines history. Celebes Sea earthquake. And in 1976, many years later, Morro Gulf earthquake in a tsunami. Magnitude 8.0 is extremely destructive, especially in Mindanao and Sulu. Okay. Thank you, Tangerine. Yeah, we're good. My son's a champ. He slept through the whole earthquake. He sleeps through all the typhoons. I think that's just his Filipino blood. He's sort of like content, and he's like, well, it is what it is. You know, I'm not going to let my sleep get disturbed. What a soldier that kid is. And then, of course, the neighbors, everybody's freaking out and yelling and running in the streets. And, you know, so I just thought, geez, I'll just go live. You know. And then his mom was doing, I don't know what she was doing, just working on something. 1990, Luzon earthquake, approximately 7.7 magnitude, caused widespread damage in northern Luzon, especially Bagayo. I don't know if I said that right. 1948, Lady KK earthquake, magnitude 7.8, centered between Antique and Panay, affecting nearby islands. It also generated a tsunami. All right, in recent decades, many quakes of magnitude 6 plus have occurred across the whole. In 2013, for instance, that was in 2013. So the most severe earthquakes in the Philippines notes that from the 1960s to the present, quakes between magnitude 6.1 and 7.9 have caused large-scale damages and casualties in various provinces. You guys paying attention? Okay. Active faults in Mapton, Negros, Central Visayas. Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, my son was pretty content with the whole thing. He didn't even wake up. Thank you, Tangerine. Mitch Duca, welcome. Slay B says, hey, honey. Okay. Luca Diaz says, I felt the earthquake here in Cebu earlier. Woo! Mitch Duca says, nah, I ain't scared. Ain't is not a word, but I understand what you're saying. I'm just joking. All right. So the active faults in fault Mapit and Negros, Central Visayas. Research indicates that active faults on Negros Island. One such study reveals that the 2012 quake was caused by a slip on a previously unmasked thrust vault, later labeled part of the Negros Oriental Thrust System. Geological mapping of Panay, Negros, Cebu, Bohol region shows that the crustal deformation fault zones in the interaction of Philippines tectonic plates create complex fault geometry. Because some faults are unmapped or poorly studied, new quakes may come from hidden faults that only manifest during seismic events. You guys catching this? All right. So why does understanding this matter? Let's go over that. Even moderate quakes can trigger landslides. That's the danger, right? Landslides aren't cute. You know, if you're living next to like a cliff with mud on it, that's no fun. That's not cool. Yeah, the landslides and the mudslides and all that kind of stuff, that's real. All right. Tangerine says, it's only scary like living in a high-rise building. Yeah, I bet. Imagine the sway. Okay, let me button my shirt here. I was putting on my shirt when I started this. I was in bed. I think I said that like 4 times. Okay. Guys, get those likes up to 10 here. I mean, give me a break. I'm broadcasting live from an earthquake zone. I mean, come on. This deserves more than 72 likes. We need 80 on here right now. Anyway, why understanding this matters. So even moderate quakes, like I said, can trigger. I didn't say it, that's what this said. Can trigger landslides. Liquefaction. What is that? Does anybody know what that is? Liquefaction. Liquefaction. Ground subsidence, especially in a hilly or unstable areas. Structures not built to seismic codes are at high risk. That could be a potential issue in a developing country, folks. Let's not lie. You know, I always just thought infrastructure was overrated. I always like make those comments on this channel like, oh, Westerners just like their infrastructure. They're such they're such bougie. They're so bougie, you know. Quit acting like a girl and you know, live in a dilapidated building. But then again, if there's like earthquakes and typhoons, I guess that could be like a problem. Yeah, that's true. I guess there is something good about having good infrastructure, right? Oh, God. Oh, goodness gracious. Early warning systems, building codes, and hazard zoning depends on good fault maps, which are still being improved in many parts of the Philippines, including the Visayas and Negros. All right, let's get some information about this earthquake. How about that? Seismological observations and earthquake prediction divisions. Come on! Get to the chopper! Sorry, I don't want to wake up the kids. I'm going to try to get information about this particular earthquake right now. Oh my God, 6.9? Are you joking? Okay, folks, this originated 44 kilometers from Cebu. My goodness. 6.9, that's pretty serious, dude. We got to check out what's going on over there, folks. I felt it here. Jeez. I thought over here, I was like, wow. Magnitude 5.2 earthquake rocks Negros, tremors felt in Cebu. Let's read this news story. Breaking news from CDN by Jessica NG. I don't know how to say her name. Anyway, stop it. Wait, do I got the... Sorry, this is like the wrong date. I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading something from a year ago. Forgive me. No, the other stuff was true about the 6.9. This just happened. Hold on. North of Cebu. That's where it originated. Let me get the right information here. Okay. Panic grips Cebu after powerful 6.7 magnitude earthquakes hits near Bago City with tremors. Oh my God. Rockin Leyte, Samar, and Negros Oriental. A 6.7 magnitude earthquake. I'm going to say that 4 more times, okay? Oh, of course, I gotta register if I'm going to read the news story about the earthquake. Really? Why are you going to do that to me? Hold on. We'll get the story somewhere else. What's up with trying to make money off disasters? You know what I mean? Go ahead and send a super chat. No, I'm just joking. What are you doing? I can't read the story. I gotta register. It was like this is like a national event. My God. Hold on a second, folks. Let's see what Google's doing. Make sure they're not blocking anything. Goodness gracious. All right, here we go again. Let's get this. I'm going to get this straight. Don't worry, folks. Yeah, I'm in the Philippines. Oh, everyone's live? Is that right? Ricky says everyone's live. Well, you know, I was in bed. And yeah, I just clicked on live. I thought it was funny. And here we go. Hold on a second. Mandingo says yes. Oh, yeah. Thanks. Major earthquake strikes central Philippines. CNN. Let's see what they're saying. It's fake news. No, it's not fake. It really happened. There was an earthquake. I felt it. I woke up out of bed. I was like, wow, it's an earthquake. I think I told the people I lived in California over 20 years. Didn't feel too many tremors or earthquakes, but I felt this one a little bit. Son's still sleeping. He could care less. Some of the neighbors freaked out, and you know, here we are. I was going live like right when the it's still kind of like little tremorage thing, but you know, I had to like put my shirt on and everything. Okay. So, anyway, CNN. Strong earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.9 struck the central Philippines around 10 p.m. local time, according to U.S. Geological Survey. The earthquake occurred underwater. Who would have guessed? It didn't happen in the sky. Just west of Palompan, Palonpon, in the Philippines, indicating it could have caused a localized tsunami in addition to damage from significant shaking. Sorry, I'm going to get more information here. What, that's all the information they're going to give? Really? This is a developing story and will be updated. Oh, thanks. All right, let's read something from Manila. This is from Rappler.com. Here we go. Intensity 3 in San Fernando, Cebu. Intensity 2. The initial bulletin past 10 p.m. The Philippines Institute of Volcanology and Seismology said the earthquake, which was a tectonic in origin, struck Bogo, Cebu, at 9:59 p.m. Tuesday. It had a depth of 10 kilometers. All right. I guess it's still a developing story, folks. So why don't we'll just make up some propaganda, and that will help the news lines. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You know, the thing with like natural disasters is that's kind of like one of those hard things to sort of, you know, when they talk about fake news or propaganda or stuff that's exaggerated or, you know, manipulated narratives. It's kind of hard to like manipulate a narrative or create fake news like when there's been like a flood and you can actually see like houses being wiped out and like landslides and mudslides and the earth opening up, you know, like this is the end of civilization. Not right now, but I'm just saying, I'm being dramatic. But if you see that, it's hard to fake it, right? Okay. Mad says he's watching from Melbourne. Leslie says, yeah, it's actually very strong in the center of Cebu. It's from Samar. And it hits very strong that my body is shaken today. I came out of my room bringing some important things like my laptop and money. Oh, that's good. Preparing for the worst. Okay. Remember to have your fish oils. So the famous earthquake stories, guys. Lady KK, that's Caycay, earthquake in 1948. Magnitude 7.8. It was called Lady KK because it struck at the same time as a cockfight. Sabong. And people remembered hearing the sound of KK. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's a local term for flapping and scratching of fighting cocks. That's roosters. Mixed with the earth shaken. Entire churches and century-old Spanish stone buildings in Panay and Antique were collapsed. Survivors reported the roaring sound like trains, and the aftershocks went on for weeks. God, imagine that. The roaring sound like trains? Can you imagine that? An earthquake that sounded like a train hitting? My God. I mean, how do you... Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I've never been in a natural disaster like that. Thankfully. Guys, if you like my earthquake coverage, hit that like button. I think I've been doing a moderately decent job. 1976 Moro Gulf quake and tsunami. Here we go. Magnitude 8.0. See this? Struck Mindanao, followed minutes later by a tsunami up to 9 meters high. Oh my God, a 9 meter high tsunami. You know, that's one thing that does freak me out in nature. I'm not big on the whole, not tsunamis, but what do you call them? What are the big waves called? Like those huge waves that like wipe out. That stuff's freaky, dude. Like when you get this like wall of a wave. What's that called? It's like I forget what it's called. Oh my God, what's that called, folks? Oh, is that a tsunami? That is a tsunami. Sorry. Yeah. So, can you imagine, dude, 9 meters high, or even bigger ones? Do you know how crazy that is, man? Like a wave that big. That stuff's scary, dude. Like if you're close to a beach, it's probably, man. That's kind of freaky, dude. You guys know how powerful waves are? I mean, I've done a little bit of body surfing. I went to a lot of beaches as a kid, but I mean, God, even 6, 7, 8 foot waves trying to surf if you're not a good swimmer. I'm a decent swimmer, but I mean, you can really get pounded by waves, dude. Can you imagine some massive force of nature in water like that? It's freaky, dude. And like all the people are running from the shore. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, just like it's like swish. And yeah, I mean, the whole drowning thing, I'm not really into it. It's a horrible thing. Um, God help those people. I guess we're making jokes, but it's kind of not. This could have been bad, guys. We really don't know because, where I am, it wasn't, the heart of it, so to speak. So let's hope people are okay because it's a pretty sizable earthquake. Some are even saying it was 7.0 magnitude. German Research Center says 6.7. God. Yeah, well, fortunately, I'm not close to any water, but tsunamis, man. Good God. Freaky! I'm not into the whole, like, massive wave thing. Not my thing. Don't like it. Love the beach, love swimming. I like bodyboarding. 2012 Negros Oriental earthquake, magnitude 6.7. Triggered massive landslides that buried entire barangays. Oh my God. Dude, can you imagine landslides burying entire barangays, like entire villages? That's freaky, dude. Yeah, and that one, many locals describe the ground as a rolling like waves at a sea, rather than just shaking. It's kind of not a joke. I'm kind of sitting here like I started this off like, it's an earthquake. Let's do a live stream. But now I'm like really kind of getting, reading deeper into this stuff, and it's it's kind of serious. It's like not a joke. Um, yeah, look at this. In I can't spell it. I can't say it. Gahulnagan, Guihulngan. This is in 2012, Eastern Negros. A school collapsed and rescuers. Oh, I'm not gonna. Oh my God, they had to dig out people with shovels. Oh my God, that's fucking sad. That's horrible. I hate to hear that. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. Oh God. Yeah, natural disasters aren't a joke, folks. I kind of feel weird now. 2013 Bohol earthquake, magnitude 7.2. Destroyed century-old churches in Lubbock and other towns. A famous image is the collapsed bell tower in the Deus Church, which locals said, quote, looked like it bowed down. Locals also reported that the water in the rivers, quote, disappeared temporarily as the ground shifted, only to return minutes later. That's freaky, too. Hank says, we met on a plane a few weeks ago. You and I? I'm currently in Guimaras, where I felt sizable tremors. I thought it was just the wind, but your live stream made me realize that. Shit. Hank, I'm trying to remember. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Was that... Were you the guy in the Manila flight? I told you about my chat. That's right. Okay, hold on. So, I was flying from... No. San Francisco to Manila overnight. I slept through most of the thing. I was in the middle. The first half of the flight, I was kind of like really antisocial and quiet because I was really tired. And there was an older woman to my right, an elderly woman. And yeah, this Filipino guy to my left, Filipino American guy, he, I think he was, you worked, you did a lot of tours. What'd you say? You know, boat tours. Sorry, I'm tired. I just woke. I wasn't sleeping, but my mind's rattled. Sorry. The tourist thing where you go on the boats across the ocean, and I can't remember the name of it. That's crazy. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, we were talking, and yeah. This is your first time back in the Philippines in a long time, he said. That's right. Yeah, thanks for watching the channel. That's hilarious. Sometimes when I meet people, I don't expect them to actually watch the channel. That's hilarious. Cruise ship, tour guide. Thank you. Yeah, it's like, I knew that. No, because you threw me off because you made a comment, and I was making a joke about it on another live stream. Because you said, what did you say? I'm good at remembering passive-aggressive comments. You said, I don't think that wasn't your intention, but you said, I think I was describing like how people can save money living in cars or being truck drivers, and you said, how long did you live like a dirt bag to save money and get ahead? I think that's what you said, or something like that. You know, living in a van down by the river, which I thought was funny. And yeah, dirtbag, right? And I get it. You know, you're 32 and you haven't been back to your home in 17 years, and you got a decent job, and you're wearing the nice clothes and probably rent an apartment. Most people under 35 don't have a net worth, but yeah, that made me laugh actually. That's right. But anyway, I was sort of indirectly referring to that story recently, but I appreciated what you were saying. Anyway, I don't want to get into like psychological character stuff about different cultures and people living in different places, but it's kind of interesting at the same time, because I was telling him how, Filipino OFWs, some of them that I've met, like in their 20s and early 30s or something like that, ones that are like accountants or engineers or something, the ones that sort of make it in the establishment in America, and they got the good job, and they crossed all the D's, dot the I's, and they sort of let them in the establishment, and then they kind of, they don't really want to go back home to the Philippines because they're like, oh, I don't know. And so, that Western brainwash sort of takes over. Not that it's bad, but sometimes they can develop, I don't know, it just happens. I've seen it happen to younger people. But then as life goes on, they get humbled, they start a family, and so then they realize, you know what, we're all in this together. And that's when they realize, I'm going to quit my job and go back to the Philippines forever. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, Hank, how is your time back here in the country, man? How you doing out here? You enjoying? You want to share any thoughts? That's awesome that you showed up. I forgot that I even mentioned the channel to you. That's hilarious. All right, key earthquake statistics. Philippines, average per year. 20 quakes are strong enough to be felt. Hundreds of smaller ones are recorded by the Philippine Institute of Volcanic and Seismology. The largest recorded was 1918, like I said, magnitude 8.3. 1976, Morro Gulf 8.0. That was the deadliest, 5 to 8,000 deaths. Imagine that. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah. Well, yeah. I wonder what the medium net worth of your average honest working dirtbag is. Thank you for shopping. Did you ever think about that? Do you know many with like 19-inch biceps, by the way? I'm just curious. I'm just joking around. Having fun. Yeah. I've run marathons too. Okay. I don't know if my arms are 19 inches, but they're pretty good. That's not even that big, to be honest. But all right, hold on. 1990 Luzon quake, 7.7 magnitude, killed 1,600, injured 3,000, left 100,000 homeless. Wow. Wow. That's what I admire about, the old school and like Filipinos, some of the OFWs, is they really, they sacrifice for their families. They do what they have to do to go build a house back in their country, their kids' country, or whatever. Yeah. Whether that includes sleeping in cars or sleeping wherever, just to save money. I mean, these are just, regular working people. And, yeah, I guess some of the kids look down on that. Well, that's just the whole you're living in the neighborhood, keeping up with the Joneses, living in the towers. It's a phase of life. It's signaling, it's kind of stuff like that. They go through it. A lot of it's imagery, superficial stuff, that sort of thing. All right. Culture and societal and social notes. Earthquakes are also common that the Filipinos have a saying like "lindol, lindol," shouted as a quick warning. I didn't hear that. My son slept through the whole thing, by the way. Let me make sure. I'm not. My comments aren't updating, guys, so I gotta check if I'm getting comments right now. Sorry about that. I didn't even see. The last comment I saw was "Don't worry too much," so sorry for that. Yeah, thank you for stopping. I didn't mean to be so. I thought what I was just giving a social commentary based. I wasn't. Oh, see, thank you for shopping. Says Lil, you really didn't like that term, eh? In my world, the term dirtbag is sexy and anti-establishment. I meant it as a compliment. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad I can be. I'm glad that you regard me as a dirtbag. Thank you. Thank you for stopping. Thank you. Kuya Storm says the old church crumbled. Yeah, my comments did, so I had to pull it up on my laptop. All right. Hold on a second. You guys having a good time out there? So thank you for stopping. What could you share with us where you're at in the Philippines, or where you've been visiting? Have you been having fun visiting the family and all that, or what? You having a good time? Is it what you expected? What you remembered? God, that's another serious consideration, like house building in the Philippines and retirement. I mean, I got to admit, I would be the type of guy like, you know, and I'm a common sense dude, but I would say, hey, let's go live, let's go live on the beach, right? Let's go live close to a nice beach. But can you imagine, like a severe tsunami, dude? You know how effing scary that would be? I mean, isn't that pretty much like instant death? Like if it's a huge wave and you're close to the shore? I mean, what the hell are you gonna do? Like, I don't even know. I get weird comments sometimes. Look, this guy just wrote on this comment he wrote. This is a video about educating American kids or dual citizen kids in the Philippines, and the guy says, if we ignore everything that I've said that was wrong, I'm actually correct. I can hear Tuna's blood pressure and he makes an emoji doing this, swishing in the back. What the hell does that even mean? I mean, I'm not even joking. I have no idea what that means. But thank you for that comment on that short. All right, let's see if there's any developments on the earthquake. I went through kind of a little history on earthquakes. Let's see else. What else can we learn? Negros Island had at least 9 quakes above magnitude 7 since 1900. Even this live stream and everything, my son slept through the whole thing. It's amazing. All right, so if you're just tuning in, folks, yes, it was a quake of a magnitude of 6.7, reported 94 kilometers northeast of Cebu City. Depth of the quake. Oh, I'm going to give some safety tips really quick. Maybe I should have done that. If you're indoors, drop cover and hold on. Under a table or against an interior wall. After the shaking stops, move away from heavy furniture, glass windows, avoid elevators, go outside if it's safe. Open spaces away from walls, buildings, and power lines. Check your surroundings, fire, gas leaks, fallen debris. Be ready for aftershocks. My God. My goodness gracious. Anyway, folks, I don't know the actual updates. I've just been reading a lot of stuff from other quakes in history. I don't mean to make, I'm not making jokes of this. I just kind of did this live stream as it was happening, and I was just kind of in a levity mood. But I don't mean to make, I'm not making light of anything. I mean, earthquakes, natural disasters are not a joke, folks. I mean, it's this stuff in the Pacific Ring of Fire here in the Philippines is serious business, all right? It's very, can be very, very dangerous, okay? So you got to take care out there. Let's see if there's any updates in the news. Oh, God. Thank you for stopping by. It says, yes, family in Manila and Panay so far. Bulacan and a few. I try to have realistic expectations when visiting places, especially since I have roots here. Loving the realness of what I've been lucky to see and do so far. Earthquake was also an interesting experience. I'm actually right now by the ocean ATM, maybe 50 meters away. Thankfully, I'm at least 75 to 100 meters above sea level. Yeah, that is good. Good for you. Yeah. Oh, man, thank you for stopping by. He says he hasn't been home or been back here in like 17 years. He's been out there in the working world doing stuff, and yeah, it's a long time. Reva says, where's the party at? Oh, maybe we should have a drink of Tanduay to celebrate this event. No, I'm just joking. Nothing to celebrate. Earthquakes are terrible. I need some ice. Guys, I'm going to grab some ice. I'll be right back. I can play some drums for you while you're waiting. Sorry. Play some drums for you. What am I doing? Rita says, Frank lives near the epicenter. I might go to his house and check on him. Okay. I don't even know who that is. Is that like that's a vlogger or something? Did you say the name like it's somebody we're supposed to know? Maybe I'll look that up. Who is that? Who is that? Let me look that name up. Let's look that up. Frank. I don't know who that is. Anyway, let's see. I know sometimes like people will come in and they'll be like, "Oh, hey, so and so said this," and I'm like, they say it like I'm supposed to know who the person is, and God, you realize there's like what, 600 foreign vloggers in the Philippines. I can't keep up with this dude. I'm not saying I'm too cool to watch him. I don't, you know, I got stuff to do. It's hard to keep track of what everybody's saying, what everybody's doing, you know. Let's see. Oh, God. Maybe we should read about events that happened in the past. That's what I was doing earlier in the live stream. Because the news isn't giving us much information. And my comments are still not updated. yeah, I'm very busy. Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, I am. I do have, like, you know, I got work, I got, you know, I'm into abstract things. I live in theory. You know, yeah, sushi, that's right. You know, I mean, well, my mind's preoccupied. It's not that I'm busy. You know, when people try to signal, like, I guess it's, I don't know, like, I'm busy. And, like, you know, some people clearly aren't. But, I mean, if you're working, I mean, like, doing, like, real work, like, if you're sitting at a desk or, like, I don't know, doing some, like, I don't know. It depends on the type of job, too. Like, if you're doing, like, like life and death type of work, like, actual dangerous work, I mean, it does kind of, you know, occupy. But then it doesn't, you know, it's kind of a thing. But, you know, I mean, it's like when people pretend like they don't read their messages, right? Like, you know, everybody, especially vloggers or whoever, anybody on social media, anyone, you know, huge followings, small followings, they all read their messages. You know what I mean? I think even like Joe Rogan's trying to put out this thing where he's like, I don't read comments. No, he's like, I stopped reading comments. He's like, I don't read them. And I kind of find it hard to believe. You know what I mean? I think he dedicates a certain amount of time to like actually reading his comments, and he probably says he doesn't because he doesn't want to glorify whatever his critics or I don't know others. But you know, I have noticed that about Rogan though is like he's trying to kind of emphasize that point like almost too much. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joe, you know you read some of your comments. Come on. All right, what do we got going on? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You know, after you said that, by the way, about that sushi place, you kind of ruined it for me because I stopped eating there. I used to enjoy it, and then yeah, him and this other guy told me they're like, "Do you realize that that sushi is like fake?" And or some kind of like, and then they described in detail like how it's just this synthetic, rubbery, generic garbage imported from I don't know, it was like fake crab meat, and I really did buy into like the delusion of the sushi place. I thought it tasted good. You know, it's kind of like the Matrix. Once you learn about something, like you think you enjoy it, and then you learn about what's behind it and the ugly truth and all this, and all of a sudden you hate it. So yeah, thanks for inspiring me not to like the sushi. I appreciate that. All right, let's move on to another topic. See, that's the beauty of childhood and innocence too, is that they're just not cynical, you know. It's not to say that like ignorance is bliss. You ever hear that expression? But I think there's something to cynicism. Okay, it's something about cynicism that's different. That's different than being ignorant, and ignorance is bliss. Like being cynical is a hard way to live. Anyway, if you like that message, smash that like button. If anybody cares. Okay. All right, I got to get some ice, guys. I'll be right back, okay? I need a break from talking. All right. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, I'm going to get some ice. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. I'm going to grab some ice. I was hitting the upper chest today. How are my biceps looking? Am I still packing it? Hitting that upper chest, man. I'm trying to, like, come on! You know, like, boom! Hitting those explosive. I think upper chest, like incline, is just overall better in a sense, like especially as you age, because you get like the man boobies, and it's like you want to lift the chest, right? So it's really like the upper chest is kind of more of a priority, right? Like you don't want to go in there and like, you know, focus your whole workouts on doing dips, right? Like you kind of want to hit the upper chest first, and then start, working down. Anyway, nobody cares. I'm just talking. And also running, speed. Got to do the 100-meter sprints, okay? Dude, and actually Jay got me into this too. I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know what he's doing, but uh, that was Jay. I'm sorry, nobody knows what I'm talking about. Jay was um, he was like this family vlogger guy, and I don't know. He hasn't been online in like a long time, so I'm not sure what he's doing. I wish him all the best. But anyway, he's a pretty big dude. Like, dude trained like an animal, man. Or I mean, he was in pretty good shape. But anyway, so yeah, he kind of got me thinking about like 100-meter sprints, and so I started doing it. Like just five, six, or seven, just like five a day can make a huge difference in just your overall performance, life, everything else, man. It actually boosts testosterone too, by the way. Um, sprinting, not jogging, not walking. Okay, sprinting, intervals, fast as you can, 100-meter dash. Just do five or six of them in combination with some weight training. Good to go. All right, I'll be right back. Even better than the Woken. All right. Welcome back, people. Oh, you guys still there? You guys having a good time? All right, well, I'm going to go back to bed, folks. Be safe out there, okay? Be good. Take care. Natural disasters are not a joke. Stay safe, all right? Um, just stay safe and, do the most you can. All right. Well, it's Captain Trucker. You all have a good night. God bless. Be good. You all take care. And check out some of my videos, I guess. Subscribe if you enjoyed this. I'm going to go back to bed. All right. Good night, everybody. It's bedtime.